it's time to make the best chocolate chip cookies that have ever existed.
1.5 cups all-purpose flour. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon baking soda. My whisk is broken. Whisk that together.
3/4 cup brown sugar. Half a cup granulated sugar. Whiskey business. Half cup of melted butter in 1 egg. Plus 1 egg yolk.
2.5 teaspoons of vanilla that I forgot to film again.
Now that's what I like to see. Flour mixture, but just half of it first.
Mix till combined.
And add the rest of that bad boy. Mix, but be gentle. 6 ounces of chocolate. Chop it up.
Should look something like this.
Chocolate in.
Sure, it's a little chocolate. Got a problem with that?
Fold together. Plastic wrap.
Chill in fridge about 20 minutes.
The oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Baking sheet, parchment paper.
Scoop cookies with an ice cream scoop, leaving lots of space. Bake 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown.
A little bit of flaky salt. Let them cool. That cookie break, you know? That
is how a cookie should look.
I have guests today, so let's make macarons. Okay, 2 egg whites. And beat them until they're bubbly. Slowly add 1/4 cup of sugar. Mix. More. Mix. Alright, mix until you got some sort of peaks. Alright, now add some food color. Once it's stiff, sift through 3/4 cup almond flour and 1 cup powdered sugar. And now fold. Alright, nice. Alright, now drop. Again. Okay, now that they're matte, you can put them in the oven. 14 minutes later. Now we're making cream. Put butter and powdered sugar together. Now I gotta fill them. Wow. Pretty. Nice.
You should play. Fair enough. People really be talking about getting brownie points but still make it from a box? Proper brownies.
3/4 cup unsalted butter, small pot in. Pan on.
Medium heat.
Make it melted.
Half a cup of flour.
3/4 cup cocoa powder. Half a teaspoon of salt.
Secret ingredient, espresso powder.
1.5 teaspoons of that.
Some whiskey business. In a separate bowl, 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Melted butter. Whiskey business. 2 whole eggs. Just half of that cocoa mix. Fuck it, we'll do the rest of it.
Now mix all that together
until completely smooth.
Salmonella. 4 ounces of chocolate.
Chop that up.
Should look a little bit like that.
And fold together.
8x8 baking pan oil.
In. Spread it out.
That bad boy in the oven. 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
35 to 40 minutes.
And let it cool to room temperature, please. Cut 9 slightly uneven slices. Glossy fudgy.
Brownie boys for you to enjoy.
I made a really pretty rainbow crepe cake today. You're gonna need a cup of flour, 2 large eggs, 3/4 cup of milk, half a cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of butter. Whisk it all together till you get a watery consistency. Divide it into 5 bowls, and I'm using food coloring to make mine pink, yellow, orange, green, and blue. Then you're gonna wanna put your pan on low. This is really all trial and error, so I started with the blue because if I mess up, then you can't really see it since it's at the bottom of the cake. But then eventually you'll get used to like the technique. You just kind of have to maneuver around the pan till it's nice and thin. And then when you're done with that, put it in the fridge while you make your whipped cream. You're gonna need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 2 tablespoons of sugar and whip it until it's stiff. Then you're gonna assemble it. See, I put the ugly crepe on the bottom and you can't even see it. Just layer it like so. I put some powdered sugar, but it kind of dissolved. And then look how satisfying this looks. I'm really proud of how this came out.
Motherfucking Jemima. So welcome back to my cooking channel. First, get some oats and blend them and then add baking soda and salt. Mix and put aside. Then please get 3 bananas and mash them. Add eggs and vanilla extract. Then mix until it looks like that. Then get some Splenda. I know it sounds weird, but I need you to trust the fucking process. This is my cooking show, not yours. Then get vegetable oil, but because you are weak, ask your brother to open it. Mix and then add your wet ingredients to the dry ones and whisk. Then get some chocolate chips and fold them in. You can also add walnuts if that's what you're into. I don't fucking care. It doesn't affect me. Then spray your pan so it doesn't stick. Bake until golden brown and enjoy with your brother. Bye, bitch.
Hey guys, so today I am going to be making a cookie dough, brownie, Oreo, marshmallow, sweet lasagna. I'm going to start off by making the brownie batter. So I've added 1 egg, oil and water. I'm going to give it a big mix. That's all mixed up, pop it in your cake tin.
and pop that in the oven. Make your dough and roll it out. Once you've got your brownie cooked, place the cookie dough on top and spread all the dough on top of the brownie. Snap up your chocolate into a bowl ready to melt. Add the melted chocolate layer over the cookie. Brush up some Oreos and sprinkle some of the mixture. Mix up your marshmallows and make them super gooey. Final layer of butter, Oreo icing added.
Okay, so I just found out that we're basically out of Oreos. So I'm gonna try to make them from scratch right now and show you guys how to do that. First, you're gonna do 1 cup of softened butter. Then to that, add 1 cup of white sugar. Then to this, we're gonna add 2 eggs. Then 2 teaspoons of salt. Now 2 cups of flour. Then add 1 cup and 1/4 of cocoa powder. Lastly, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, so after I cut them in the circles, I just stamped them with one of the last Oreos I had left over. Okay, then you're gonna bake them in a greased baking tray at 325 degrees. Okay, so after the oven, they look like this. Now for the delicious filling, we're gonna do 1/2 cup of softened butter, then 2 cups of powdered sugar. Lastly, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that is your Oreo from scratch.
Today, I really wanted to make cinnamon roll in a mug, so I used 1/2 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, some baking soda, a pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of milk, vanilla extract is optional, and 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I mixed it all together, I put some flour down, make sure your counter is clean, and then I rolled out my dough into this long rectangular shape. I grabbed some butter, some brown sugar, and some cinnamon. I microwaved that for about 30 seconds, and then I spread it on my dough. I would recommend a little bit more sugar because mine was kind of liquidy. I added more cinnamon, and then I rolled it up like so and put it in my mug. And then I microwaved for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I made a glaze with powdered sugar and milk and topped off my cinnamon roll, and you're done. Sometimes I feel kind of bad for forcing my family to eat all the stuff I make, so today I made a personal pizookie. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of melted butter, a tablespoon of light brown sugar, a tablespoon of granulated sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/4 cup of flour, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, pinch of salt. Mix everything together, add some chocolate chips, put it in your ramekin. Then you're going to preheat the oven to 375 and bake that for about 15 to 18 minutes. I added some ice cream and it was so good.
How to make ultra thicky sticky buns.
1.5 tablespoons of milk. Stir. Medium heat. Stir. Till thickened. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. 3/4 teaspoon of sea salt. 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Bake that shit up.
1/2 cup of milk. 2 tablespoons of water. 90 degrees Fahrenheit. 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. Sit for a couple minutes. Add your flour mix. 2 whole eggs. Thicken mixture. Let that mix. Nice and smooth. Add 3.5 tablespoons of softened butter.
TiK Incorporated.
Bowl. Dough. Plastic wrap. Rise in warm area. 1/2 cup of brown sugar.
1 tablespoon of cinnamon.
Whiskey business. Punch it down. Flour your dough.
Roll that out. 1/4 cup of butter. Bread. Use all your cinnamon sugar. Roll into a tight cylinder. Cut into 9 even pieces.
Bowl. 1/2 cup softened butter. 1/2 cup brown sugar.
Blend 2 tablespoons of honey. 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. So it looks like that. 8x8 pan. Cream sugar. Spread it out.
1.5 cups of pecans.
Rough chopped
Like this.
nuts in your pan. Plastic wrap.
Proof 40 minutes. Into the oven. 375. 25 to 30 minutes.
Immediately invert.
Oh, brother.
Sticky, but mostly thicky.
This ooey gooey cinnamon pull-apart bread is so good and so easy to make. Get yourself some biscuits. I use these because it was 58 cents on sale. Preheat your oven. Cut the biscuits into pieces. A whole bunch of sugar and cinnamon in a bowl. Mix it together. And you're going to dip the pieces in it and then lay it into a pan, okay? Pour some melted butter and remaining sugar on top. Bake for 15 minutes and you're done.